Okay, here's Black Mountain Rag. Wanted to present this for the advanced curriculum, more sort of directly honoring Doc Watson and the way he played this. We're going to look into, as we get into the other sections of this tune, kind of his iconic phrasing here, certainly by the end of this tune, and a couple of other moments here in the A and the B section that we're going to talk about first. Again, starting from the basic through intermediate curriculum levels here, we've kind of looked at different ways to play this A section. The A and the B sections are usually kind of lumped together. There's no real repeats like in traditional fiddle tunes. Same chord structures, just sort of different energies within this same sort of idea of getting this tune started. And I think I mentioned this in the intermediate curriculum analysis as well, but there's a lot of little different ways that you can play this first A section as far as the main notes. Again, capo 2nd fret, we got our F sharp, A, and B notes. First open, 3rd fret, 5th fret. You know, you'll see this played a lot of different ways. Again, I think I've hopefully gotten fairly close to a general average of Doc Watson's version, or maybe some of mine too. One of the cool things is options for how we get into it. You know, again, advanced curriculum, we're looking at actually the way the basic curriculum started with 4 and 1. You can also start this, you'll see this played where the slide goes into the downbeat. 4 1 4 1 2. Right here again we've got 4 and 1. Alright, so a little combination of both there. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1. Again, that hammer on's happening on the and of 4 into the next downbeat. There it is. And then the same thing, a little slide now into the 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now sliding from the 3rd fret, which is kind of another option. And some folks may use just that 3rd fret. The 4th fret kind of is a nice tension getter there. I sort of feel physically on the efficiency factor side, travel back into first position, that ring finger's right there on the 3rd fret ready to use without a whole lot of stretching going on. Yeah. So that's the basic sort of way to play this song at an advanced level, as far as really filling all the gaps. All the 8th notes are there for the most part. And again, for advanced players, you might find other ways to sort of feel at home with this melody. Meaning, do you always play 4 and 1, or do you play 4 1? This is going to be one just, you know, again, sort of using the influence of Doc Watson, the way he would always sort of, you know, have so much of his personal character in his playing. I really encourage, you know, amateur level flat pickers, to even people like me when I'm mentoring young professionals, to really find your voice, and this is an opportunity to just try a couple different ways out with where you're starting with the slide, or is it a hammer on? You know, it's basically that same function of the melody. Again, not that that's easy, but I'm just saying use the various options here to not feel so bound to just have one way to play it. That's one of the things I find on the site. That's always good, to sort of break those barriers of just the same way you might have played something for years. So as we get into the B section, a little more straight up for the Doc Watson style. It's tricky to kind of write some of this stuff up, write this stuff out sometimes. That's why you see that the little in beat 3 of that first main bar, bar 10, first main bar of the B section, there's that little sort of the 5 or that F sharp note in parenthesis, where it's sort of a ghost note. You know, sometimes I hit that note and sort of base everything out of that A shape, because that's the way Doc did it. But sometimes, you know, I guess my point here is not feel so bound to play this so literally as it looks. It's, again, for the way Doc actually played it. It sounds more like this. There's sort of a real rhythmic move and a boom ta-ka-ta. There's really not kind of a note, it's just sort of a good rhythmic sound there. But 1 and 2 and 3. Again, that's another area where you might experiment with the starting on the 4th fret. I wrote one of those in there a little bit later, but challenge there at bar 12 is the jump. Basically, if we are going to commit to ring finger or middle finger being on that D, kind of jump quickly to the 4 and that pull off there at bar 12. Again, experimentation. You might experiment with more of this general chord shape as a guideline in this section, where the index is on the A, pinky is on the F sharp, and the ring now is on the D. That makes that transition back at the end of bar 12 into 13 a little more manageable feeling to me. But I'm probably I would probably choose this. Index finger on the A, ring finger on the F sharp, middle finger on the D. So hear this now in bar 16. Starting that little double stop as an option. Again, have fun with them. There's 2 different ways these things are written, and again, as far as the actual execution, I'm looking for just that basic move. Da, da, da. Maybe try them all. But again, this is an opportunity, I think, to create your version of this tune. Again, we've got a version here based on Doc Watson's playing, and we'll get into a little more deeply here, specifically with the C section. But we'll get into that next. All right.